Love sports? Love culture? Well, I've got a brand new podcast called Take Line from Crooked Media, hosted by me, Jason Concepcion, and two-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery. From the games to the players to the issues happening both on and off the court, we'll be tackling the important political and social issues happening in sports head on. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so follow and subscribe on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. I like to highlight excellence in broadcasting, and my buddy Frank down on the Heidi, Frosty, and Frank show, or Frosty, Heidi, and Frank, I should get it right.
Jeez, man, get it right. You act like you're friends. You don't even know the name of their show.
Well, I know Frank. The reason I highlight that show is because they had Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters, on. Did a good interview with him.
It was a really fun interview.
Yeah, and in the interview, Dave shared his pre-show ritual, and it involves a lot of booze.
An hour and a half before the gig, I take 3 Advil. An hour before the gig, I have a Coors Light. About 50 minutes before the gig, I hit my first yeg. Get another Coors Light going. Now there's a bunch of people around, so I'm throwing shots at everybody, and I'm taking shots with everyone in the room. The next Coors Light's down. I got a cold one. Now it's about 20 minutes before going on. I've maybe had 3 or 4 shots of Yeg and 3 Coors Lights. Then they sort of clear the room, and we get the 15 minutes to ourselves. Is this bad? So then it's all of us, and I feel guilty because I'm the only one that's been doing all the shots of Yeg. So I start feeding Yeg to the rest of the band, who are all drinking like white wine and champagne or whatever. So I'm pounding them with Yeg, but I have to take them with them. Now I'm like 5 or 6 shots in, and it's like, okay, it's time to walk to the stage. So I crack another beer, just have a cold one as I walk up, and I pick up the bottle and drink the last inch of the Yeg.
Every time.
If I don't take the Advil, I get like this swelling aneurysm headache from screaming my balls off for 3 hours.
Oddly enough, that's exactly what I do to prep for our show.
Oh, really?
But I mix a coffee in.
Yeah,
it's exactly
there you go.
the same.
Otherwise, everything is the same.
And we all do. We have shots of Yeg.
Oh,
it's true.
Wow. See, I get in the latest, and I don't see this pre-show ritual.
Oh, we're wasted, BJ.
Yeah.
That's how we put up with you.
That's pretty much, par for the course.
That's very impressive.
Very impressive.
How the hell does he then go on stage and perform for 3 hours? Because then he continued to say that he continues to drink during their show.
That is amazing.
And
that really is amazing because, he puts on a good show every time, and I couldn't function like that if I had that much in me.
One person says the fact that he just calls it Yeg is amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that he's even still drinking Jägermeister, like just crushing it. Like,
oh, man.
It's 2004.
It's a great mixture. Coors Light and Yegs. I mean, that is a mixture I haven't really heard much about.
What point is he going to be exposed to Fireball? Then
everything's going to be out of control.
Then they turn into a death metal band.
Yeah. That is again, thanks to our buddies Frosty, Heidi, and Frank in L.A. That's a great interview they did. He also talked about how he lost his voice while he was playing the show here at Safeco Field a few weeks back.
So I got a cold and thought like, I'm in great, this will be perfect. And we played this outdoor stadium in Seattle, and just totally blew it out. And the next day I woke up, we had 2 days off, I woke up and I went to speak normally, and it sounded like this. It's like, oh my God, what happened to my voice? And so I went to this vocal guy, and he's like, he looked for like nodes and nodules and stuff, and it's fine. I don't have those. I just had laryngitis. So I took steroids, which are rad, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what also helps that is Yeg.
Yeah.
Jägermeister. Isn't that like an old cold medicine from back in the day?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
That's what I tell myself every
it tastes like it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, then, you know what? Then it's like a cold medicine. I like this plan.
I'm shocked he ever got sick.
Yeah, I know, really. With all this, with everything he had in his system, you'd think there was nothing that could live there. that would hurt him.
I like how some bands, they have an hour and a half before the set, we start doing some yoga to stretch out the body, get things in order. An hour before the show, I start doing my vocal exercises. No, not Dave Grohl. His only thing that's preemptive is 3 Advils.
Yeah, and there are people that really operate with stuff in them. Because Kevin Smith has talked about how he does his best work stoned. Mm-hmm. So there, and myself, I couldn't do what I want to do. At least my mind tells me I couldn't do it altered in any way, shape, or form. If I don't have to do anything, I mean, look, you carry the interviews when we go to Pain in the Grass, because I have a couple of beverages, and at that point, it's like, well, Steve better take care of this because I'm done.
Yeah. There are some times where you just kind of look at me like, look, man, I got nothing. I'm drunk.
I don't know what to
Which
tell
I always think is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, we've had people really appreciate the fact that, wow, he's really destroyed this guy.
I just remember one time you were drunk, and I had an edible, and I was just like, I got nothing either, man. Two of us are kind of like playing like this weird game of chicken that you're too drunk to talk. I don't even know how to speak. And
yeah, that one time I was like, oh man, Steve is not going to pick up the ball here, is he?
That was like 10 years ago, I think, or something like that.
I had to do something. I remember I was like, okay then, well then, you know what? I don't know how it's going to come out, but I've got to take it and run with this, baby.
I just remember thinking this interview is going forever, and I think all we said was hi at that moment.
Edibles will do that too.
Oh my gosh, when is this guy going to stop talking? I haven't even said anything yet.
Oh, that is so great.
So he's just said Dave Grohl's a rock god. It's official as if it wasn't already.
Yeah. And, again, with that regime, still like one of the coolest dudes in the business, doesn't do anything that you hear about. Well, he can handle his beverages. That's a fact.
He tips very handsomely when he goes out. Sometimes he tips just so it equals 666, which he shared that story, and it was funny because he talks about how he was just too drunk to do the math to make it hit like exactly 666. So like it was 666 and 32 cents because he just couldn't figure out how to make it so it wouldn't be. He's just like, screw it, I'm too drunk. It's close enough.
Here you go. That's awesome.
But I remember he did an interview. I think it was the interview that Lars Ulrich did with him, because Lars does a interview on, I think it's on Apple or Beats or something along those lines. But it's on YouTube. If you find the interview with Dave Grohl being interviewed by Lars Ulrich, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's a great watch. But Lars even brought up how he remembers going backstage to go say hi to Dave, and he thought, okay, well, they're going to have a similar routine as Metallica does, which they do the whole stretching and vocal warming up. And he's like, yeah, I didn't want to bug you because it was like 15 minutes before the show, but then I walk in, you're all just doing shots, and it's like, come on in, it's a party.
I know, it's completely different. I know, it's interesting. We have seen different performers with different routines, and it's funny, the guys you think would be the big partiers, like a lot of comics, are not, and that's a big shocker. And then the ones you go, oh, we better not bother this guy. Next thing you know, you got the Dave Grohl effect.
Yeah.
That's fair. Listen, however you get it done, you get it done. Good for Dave, man.
Well, if there's ever an opportunity to do meet and greets with Dave Grohl, do not pass up on that opportunity, because I wouldn't be surprised if he just shows up with a bottle of Jägermeister.
Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Oh, man, that is a meet and greet that is really the meet and greet that everybody expects.
Right, not a hi-bye kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody expects that. That's what backstage is supposed to look like. And it really doesn't, except if you go to a Foo Fighters show. That's fantastic.
I'd rather do a shot with Dave than take a picture.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. You're absolutely right. All right, I got to tell you about this group of teens. Might be the dumbest criminals of all time, as they stole oregano thinking it was something else. Yeah, Steve's got the news for you at 6:17.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well, he's no Pulitzer Prize winner. Hell, he can't even pronounce Pulitzer. This is News with Steve Miggs.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to Colorado State University Global Campus, and happy National Chocolate Milk Day.
Yeah!
That's right, everybody. Get yourself, I suggest going to Smith Brothers.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. They've got the best chocolate milk.
They do.
And a lot of the guys that work over there listen to the show, so shout out to Smith Brothers. Get your chocolate milk from them.
I didn't know they listen. Good job, Smith
They swing by every once in a while, dropping off chocolate milk.
Yes, they do. You're right. I totally remember that now. Thanks, buddy. You jogged my memory.
I feel like I'm going to have to follow you around as older you get for the rest of your life. Like, BJ, remember you met this person. BJ, remember we've eaten here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You ever eaten at that place called Sizzle Pie? I hear it's
Never been there.
No.
Dan, you got to take me there, buddy. Please take me there.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, well, let's talk about what has to be some of the dumbest teenagers of all time. Okay, maybe not of all time, but they're definitely up there. They smashed a stolen van into a marijuana dispensary in Colorado Springs, a place called Native Roots. And they went in there after hours and they took all the weed that they could carry. They're like, let's grab all these jars of weed. This is going to be awesome. But here's the best part. All the stuff that's on the display, they thought they were getting weed, but it turns out it wasn't the herb that you'd think it is, but the herb that would be called oregano.
Oh, I love oregano. So steal some.
Apparently, the owners at Native Roots, very smart. They were like, yeah, we're not going to put on the display cases actual weed in these jars. So they're just more for a show. And they put oregano inside of there. So here's the store's owner, Kim Casey, talking about how these dumb teens are probably trying to smoke oregano.
All of our product was locked away. Some apparel was accessible. But even those items in the display case are all display. They are unmedicated product.
That's awesome.
Dumbasses.
Nice going, kids.
Have a good one there, morons. This guy's a little odd. He's a Tennessee man. He was pulled over during a traffic stop. His name's Robert. He's 29 years old. He was speeding, and he refused to slow down when the cops were trying to pull him over. Eventually, he did pull over. Then he refused to get out of his car.
Oh, boy.
And when they were trying to be like, no, you got to get out of your car, he put the vehicle into drive. Well, they were able to stop him. They found a small amount of marijuana and also a Viagra pill.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Robert was up for a good night.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe he already finished his good night because they also found 5 fake $100 bills. And according to the police report, I quote them by saying, concealed between his butt cheeks.
Oh. Wow, that's where I keep my normal money.
Right, your real $100 bill.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Wow.
Right, Rev?
Well, I guess no one's going to try to steal it?
I guess. Wow.
Man.
Yuck. What can Brown do for you?
Yeah.
That's some funny money right there.
Yeah, sure is, buddy.
All right. This is an insane story about a North Dakota man. He's 69 years old. His name is Myron. And he was making sausage in his garage. Like, actually, it's not a euphemism. He was actually making some sausage
How old
in his
is he?
garage. He's 69
Are you
years
sure
old.
that's not a euphemism?
I know. It
All
feels
right.
like I'm starting up a big joke, but it's not. And he was using an electric meat mixer.
Okay, are you sure you're not making a joke here?
And as he was removing a chunk of meat from the machine,
Oh, no.
he accidentally stepped on the pedal that powers it, pulling his left arm into the device.
Oh, no.
To the point where his bone was severed. But his hand was still on with the nerves and the tissue and all that kind of stuff. So he had to make a decision. Do I keep it on or do I just cut it off? He chose to cut his hand off. I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, man.
Then the cops show up. They put a tourniquet on him. They weren't able to reattach the hand, so he's going to be outfitted with a prosthetic. And I bring this story up just to show how much of a badass this guy is. They're like, hey, how you feeling about all this? His response, I went through Vietnam. I can handle this.
Jeez. Whoa.
Badass of the day right there.
I guess so. Damn, dude, that's a beating.
And man, let's give just have good thoughts and well wishes and prayers, whatever it is that you do for Steve Poole from Como 4 News. You know him; he does all the weather.
Oh yeah,
I mean, just a fixture with Como. He just announced that he's battling prostate cancer. He says that he's optimistic for a complete recovery, but that just sucks.
Oh man, this is the first of me hearing this. Oh, that is.
Yeah, they made the announcement yesterday, I believe.
Oh, that's tough news. Steve Poole's a great guy.
Awesome dude, super nice. Always been a great guy to talk to, and he's going to be taking some time off for the next few weeks, and hopefully things turn out well for him. But yeah, definitely keep him in thoughts.
Well, at least that guy must have got good checkups. They always tell you to get your checkups. I'm going to get my physical, in November, and you know what? You got to do it, guys. You really do.
Well, once they say over the age of 50, unless it's in your family, then definitely do it over the age of 40.
Yeah,
that's at least because I know my dad had prostate cancer. He successfully beat it, thankfully. But when they found that out, they're like, oh, you got to start at 40.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you do that, guys. Seriously, every year. Doug Baldwin looks like he's going to be back with the Seahawks. So at least fingers crossed. He showed up to practice yesterday, unlike Thomas. And according to Pete Carroll, he looked very confident that he could have a chance to play this week. So he even said that he looks light on his feet.
All right, I want to make sure he's okay. I don't mind leaving him out. We're playing Arizona. I don't mind leaving him out one more game because I don't want him to come back too soon. We need him.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, everyone says it's about a month recovery, and he's about at the month mark. So
still, a couple more days ain't going to hurt nobody.
What's he got to do? He catches the ball. He doesn't have to run, does he?
Right.
Hey, catch the ball, fall down.
You're right. That's all he's got to do.
Won't hurt your knee that way.
Okay.
All right. You're probably right. Well, anyways, the Seahawks are up to Arizona. Take on the Cardinals.
Yeah, because why play at home at this season? There's no reason to. I mean, seriously, we don't need any home games.
Well, that'll bode well, at least towards the end of the season.
That is a good point.
Get them out of the way. Hopefully they get a couple W's on the road.
Yeah, if they can do that, and the way they played at home against Dallas, if that can be the magic elixir again, I'll take it.
Mariners lost.
What?
They lost.
Are we still in it?
No, they're out. And the A's are even closer in the wild card race because of that the big grand slam. They ended up winning 9-3. Felix Hernandez, that probably was his last start of the season. Well, definitely his last start of the season.
Man, it could be the last start of his career.
Yeah, give him 5 runs. He finished with a 5.55 ERA, which is more than a run over his previous career high, which was last year, which was doubled since he led the AL in 2014 with a 2.14 ERA. That's not that long ago.
I know.
That's a bummer. He actually talked with our buddy Jose Moreno. You know Jose, who brings Walter Jones in studio with us?
Yeah.
Jose does some stuff as well for ESPN and other places, and he interviewed Felix Hernandez after the game and asked him what he had, any kind of a message for the people of Seattle now that the season's pretty much done.
¿Qué mensaje le quieres a la gente de Seattle? Sigan confiando y que yo he dado mucho por esta ciudad y que sigan confiando por mí.
What did he say, Vicky?
He was saying that I feel confident to do it for the city.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do what for the city? I know he's a citizen now. That's cool.
Jose kind of transcribed on his Facebook page and said, "Believe in me. I've given the city a lot. Trust in me."
Oh, Vicky knows Spanish.
That sounded about right.
Yeah, it's just about different translations.
Lost in translation, as they say, BJ.
Yeah, I got lost in that one.
Yeah, when you speak a second language, we'll talk.
Yeah,
all right,
BJ.
pal. I do. I speak
Vulcan.
I'll speak a little Klingon for you.
Are you fluent?
I'll fluent you.
The lore that has now become the Philadelphia Flyers mascot.
Are they still talking about Gritty?
Gritty continues to be in the news.
Wow.
Look, you can say all you want. I've never heard of a mascot getting talked on a national level more than Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, which definitely does look like a methed out Muppet.
He's a horror Muppet.
I think he's awesome, and I'm falling more and more in love with him every day. And Danny, I think you're going to fall in love with him now because there's a brewery in Pennsylvania called Broken Goblet Brewing that's making a Gritty beer.
Yeah.
He's barely been in the NHL, and he now has his own beer.
Well, he fell on his first time, right?
He fell on the ice on his first day on the job while shooting T-shirts out of a T-shirt cannon.
Love it.
And now he's going to have his own beer in Philadelphia. They put out a statement saying, yep, it's called Nightmare Fuel, a lightly hopped cream ale brewed with vanilla and bruised and bloodied oranges.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I know. I kind of want to try it. I wonder if they'll ever mail it out to people or something along those lines. But yeah, it starts on October 13th. So how about that, man? This mascot, I only hope that if we get an AHL franchise that we could have a mascot as awesome as Gritty.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be like Harry the heroin addict.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
And he just nods off on the ice.
Yeah. I like this guy. And we can make a beer after him.
It's a calming beer.
Yeah, very calming beer.
All right, maybe not. I'm sure they're not going to ask for our suggestions when it comes to mascots.
No, Harry the heroin addict, I think. By the way, I think it's taken. Anyway.
What about Grungy?
Grungy.
He could be like a 90s grunge mascot. Like he could look like Harry, but have like the flannel on, the shorts with the thermo pants underneath the shorts, the Doc Martens, but they also have little skate blades on them so you could go on the ice.
Oh, definitely. I like this.
I like Grungy.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
All right. We have an idea. Grungy.
I have a couple buddies that are there. I play hockey with one of the guys from the Lywicki family. I'll hit him up about that.
Oh, I'm sure the Lywicki family cannot wait for your suggestion of Grungy.
Hey, he listens to the show. He expects that this kind of stupidity is going to come out of my mouth.
Well, for their third goaltender, they're back up to the backup.
Thank you.
I mean, you have to make other contributions.
I am Seattle's first acquisition.
Yes, you are.
And now Grungy, the mascot. Grungy would be awesome.
It's growing on me.
That might be my best idea ever.
It could very well be. I don't think it'll happen like every other idea that you've got, but it's probably the best idea that will never happen.
I feel like I should pitch it the same way that we thought it out here on the air. I'll first suggest Harry the heroin addict.
Oh, good call.
And they'll roll their eyes and be like, you're an idiot, get out. And then as I'm walking, I'll be like, I got another one.
Yeah.
Grungy.
You always give them the bad idea first.
Right.
Makes the next idea better.
Cleanse the palate.
I think this is a good idea. Grungy, do it.
As far as weather, 70 degrees. And thank you, Kia of Puyallup, for giving us news and sports.
Grungy, everybody. Yeah.
No?
I like it. Yeah. I do like it.
Yep.
By the way, I'm a little upset with you. You didn't, big birthday today for Google, said nothing.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, his Google's 20 today, man. Next year, Google can drink.
20 years we've been using Google.
How crazy is that?
Happy 20th to our future overlords.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Listen, we got a lot of overlords, okay? Not just Google. Google's in competition with a lot of people. Like Amazon also has got a thing where you can find out where you can look up the first thing you ever bought.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Which I didn't bother doing. I didn't realize. Because when you go to your orders, you can see what you've ordered in the last 6 months.
I sometimes use that because there are things I need to get repeat orders, like water filters for our like little Brita thing. And I want to make sure I get the right one, so I go to the past orders for that. But I never thought about going all the way back in time.
I did. I went all the way back to 2002, September of that year. So basically, it's like pretty much this month in 2002, I made my first order.
What'd you get?
Shockingly, when you think about it.
Doctor Who.
No.
Star Trek.
Socks. No, shockingly, it was a book. Because, again, back
Kama
then...
Sutra.
What were they... No, why would I get something to torment me? It's a fancy book, as I was basically trying to be like... I was doing presentations about my radio show, and I wanted to sound smart to all the salespeople.
And how'd that go?
It didn't go well. But I sort of faked my way through. I got a book called The Experience Economy, which is by these guys, Pine and Gilmore.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. And it was just to talk about it was a business book.
Man, this is a trip to go back in time to see, because you're right. Like, it's mostly books or videos. Back in those days, you weren't getting anything else for the most part on Amazon. And I was like, what the hell did I do? Well, first off, I didn't realize, I was like, The Fog of War, 11 Lessons from the Life of Robert S. McNamara was one of the first things I ordered.
Really?
And also the Pink Panther film collection.
Really?
Like, what the hell?
Really? Did you ever watch that?
Then I realized who I shipped it to. I shipped it to my dad. It was a birthday gift from my father.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Only 3 days after his birthday, I sent it.
Oh.
May 12th.
Better late than ever. Better late than ever.
Good job, son.
The thing I ordered first for me, this is really kind of a trip. It kind of triggered some weird feelings. It's Anger Kills, 17 strategies for controlling the hostility that can harm your health.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You were an angry guy?
Well, I was pissed I ordered it. Dude, and it made me think, what the hell was I going... Like, I've never been really an angry guy, but it was during a bad relationship, and I was having serious anger issues.
Wow.
So I was like, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, going to therapy, all this. And then finally, I just broke it down. I was like, I'm in a bad relationship. This person's driving me nuts and making me into someone I'm not.
See, it's so good that you haven't repeated that. Look what you do with your job every day. See, you're in a good relationship. It's not a pattern for you.
Totally healthy.
That and Faith No More's Angel Dust. That's on the same order. A very aggressive record and a book about how to handle my hostility.
So how far back do you go?
2004.
Yeah, see, I started 2002. I might be the elder statesman here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Rev?
Mine goes back to 2005, but it's just a bunch of gift cards. So, I mean, I didn't buy books or anything. The first thing that I actually physically bought was in 2011.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was a half-gallon of massage lotion.
And a box of Kleenex.
No.
Yeah.
The new relationship with my wife was going on, and we had gone to a couple's massage.
Sure you did.
And so I thought it would be a great idea to get the massage lotion.
Come on,
so
man.
I got a half gallon of it.
Sure you did.
I'm being honest about my anger thing.
Yeah.
At least you can be honest about your lotion.
Because a half gallon is a guy that's vigorously entertaining himself.
Yes.
It was a deal.
Yeah.
Well, not really. $26 for a half gallon of massage lotion.
That's fantastic.
What about you, Vicky?
Mine's kind of boring.
They all are, because Amazon wasn't really all that exciting back then.
Well, I mean, at least it was meaningful for you. Mine, I bought my brother a Steve Prefontaine poster because he was going through a hard time.
Is that the running guy?
Yeah, my brother's a runner, and so he was kind of a little not unmotivated, but just a little disheartened and kind of fallen off the wagon. So my dad taped up a bunch of inspirational quotes in his room, and I bought him the poster and hung it up in his room.
Wow, I feel bad because the three of you ordered something for someone else on Amazon. The first thing I ordered on Amazon was for me. Yep, I was like, forget everybody else.
What about Danny? What do you think? Is it like eyeliner or Good Charlotte record?
It's going to be a CD of some sort.
Mascara.
It's got to be Green Day. It's got to be Green Day.
Yeah, it's got to be a record.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a product.
Yeah, it's a Green Day related something.
Okay.
A black and white checkerboard studded leather belt.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, that's on brand, though.
Oh my gosh, you are such a pop punk,
Dude.
paint by numbers guy.
The best part is I couldn't find it at Hot Topic, so I had to go to Amazon. And this was only my first order happened in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2016 was your first order?
Yep.
Mine was in 2012.
Oh, your first order.
First order, get it right.
2012 for Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
God.
2004 for me.
Damn, 10 years after I made my first order, Vicky made hers.
Hey, you'll be proud, though, Danny. One of my first CDs I purchased back in 2004 was Sum 41's Chuck.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
But one of the best
that worked out.
So that's
also
all
got
you...
the Late Shift Murder City Devils video.
Ooh.
Jay Moore's gasping for airtime.
This is easy for anybody to do, by the way. You just go to Amazon, go to your orders section, and when they ask you to filter the orders, normally they'll show you 6 months. Just hit filter the orders, and you'll see all of the years that you can click on, and they've kept track of everything you bought since the first thing you bought on Amazon.
2004 was my first purchase.
Isn't that? Yeah, it's just nuts, dude. It is, and Google's 20 years old today. It's just crazy how this technology is something that's a part of everybody's life. Like, they won't know a life without this.
Yep. We were experiencing Amazon when we couldn't purchase anything and everything.
Yeah.
It was books, CDs, and that's about it. Maybe posters. But it really wasn't a lot of stuff on Amazon back then.
And and Google wasn't the search engine we were always using. I mean, remember Netscape?
I'm still using Bing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're a local boy. You're trying to do right by the locals.
Somebody says mine was back in 2014. It was Clerks 2 and Dragon Ball Z on Blu-ray.
That's it.
Nice.
Somebody said I ordered a baby bath seat.
Hopefully you have a baby.
Yeah, you need to have a baby. Just like Rev ordering the massage lotion for his
It was
wife.
for me and my wife.
Yeah.
I had a valid excuse.
Yeah. Yesterday, Steve, he got this one wrong.
In Greek mythology, who was the god of the underworld?
Hercules.
No.
Perseus.
No.
The Highlander.
No.
No, Hades. And you know it when you hear it. But how about Hades is the dude?
Why did I buy the China Beach TV soundtrack in 2005?
That's an answer I can't.
What?
I can't tell you.
I bought it twice.
Yeah.
In September and October.
I don't know the answer. That may not be on Beat Migs, buddy. 206-421-ROCK. If you have the answer to some of the questions or why he bought that soundtrack, Beat Migs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I can't afford to pay my bills, how am I going to afford attorneys and bankruptcy fees?
You know, one of the things people ask me all the time as a bankruptcy lawyer is that how am I going to pay all these fees and costs because I'm here because I can't afford to pay my bills? And of course we understand that. I mean, being in the bankruptcy field. But one of the things to remember is that if you decide, once you make the decision to file bankruptcy, you can stop paying on all of the creditors that are going to be included in the bankruptcy, and those are the funds that you can use that you have been paying your creditors to pay your attorney fees and court costs to get your case filed. And once your case is filed, you're not going to have most of those payments anymore.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Love sports? Love culture? Well, I've got a brand new podcast called Take Line from Crooked Media, hosted by me, Jason Concepcion, and two-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery. From the games to the players to the issues happening both on and off the court, we'll be tackling the important political and social issues happening in sports head on. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so follow and subscribe on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.